Ashes of Creation has a major problem. In fact, it has several, but that doesn't make a good video title. And before you ask, no, this is not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Unless...
Get ready to raid.
No, it's not. If you haven't heard of Ashes of Creation before, it's a Kickstarter MMORPG that everyone has high hopes for. It was inspired by games like Arcade, Star Wars Galaxies, New World, and Lineage 2. So what are the problems I speak of, you might be asking? Well, where do I begin? If I hear this term one more time, I might just Sudoku myself. Every MMO seems to be compared to World of Warcraft, and better still, anything that looks good is always touted as a WoW killer. Well, I have news for you. WoW is f***ing shit. Don't believe me? Look what Asmon says about it. Hell, he doesn't even play it anymore. So why does everyone instantly draw a comparison to WoW? In all honesty, it's unfair. Comparing a game with 20 years nostalgia played by boomers against a modern, sleek MMO? How can you compare 20-year-old tab targeting with a million action bars to a hybrid action combat with refined skills? Honestly, I don't get the WoW hype. Never have, never will. All MMOs are flawed. Old school RuneScape has shit graphics and combat. Guild Wars 2 is really boring, and WoW is run by sex pests. But saying Ashes of Creation is the next WoW killer is a major problem in the hype department. I'm sure a lot of us would like WoW to die, but WoW killer? The only thing that kills WoW is WoW. But in all honesty, on a scale of problems that Ashes of Creation has, calling it a WoW killer, this is very minor compared to the next issue. Intrepid have been really good at advertising their product. They have the likes of Summit, G1, Shroud, and even Lazy Peon saying how great this game is or is going to be. And let's not forget the biggest Ashes of Creation content creator, Asmon Gold. Although technically, can we call him a creator of Ashes content if all he does is react? A topic for another day. Either way, Ashes has not been shy in showing these creators some love and even speaking to them directly. It's worked wonders, and interest in a Kickstarter has never been higher. But with that comes another huge problem: catering to these creators. These streamers will be shown off Alpha 2 in a few months, and let's be honest, I'm not sure how many of these are going to like the PvX system, especially with the big audiences they draw in. There is a 99% chance that they are going to get stream sniped, especially with the current PvP system that they have for Ashes of Creation.
I've had enough, man. No, I'm not even fucking kidding, dude. I've had enough. I can't even. I'm not even. I'm leaving.
Oh no!
No way.
I'm done.
Go.
I'm done. In fact, I'm honestly, dude. I'm not even gonna. I gotta take a break from streaming, dude.
People only care about their selfish needs and not what makes a good game. Is it good to watch a streamer get sniped? Probably not. But should 90% of the MMO population be dictated to how they should play because of it? No.
Give two but I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real.
Streamers being sniped is a streamer's issue, not an MMO issue. I mean, look at Fortnite. It goes on all the time over there. Does Fortnite suddenly become a PvE game? No, of course not. In fact, the PvE in Fortnite is really good. It's just, you know, it's been abandoned because it doesn't make money. But anyway, with that many eyes on the game, and with the amount of outreach Ashes has had with these creators, there might be a chance they change the game's fundamentals to appease a bigger audience. And that's just wrong. In fact, it would downright be false advertising. There are other preventative measures which can take place in order to facilitate a better streaming experience, such as banning those who stream snipe, hiding gamer tags, putting on a stream delay, all of which could be helpful. But let's be honest, all of these measures are in other PvP titles and it still goes on. how far are Intrepid willing to go to protect its streamers? Some people think that in order to maximize the reach of this game and to show it in its true glory, they should go as far as to create. This has been discussed a million times, and usually by people more articulate than myself, but essentially it boils down to this. There are those who want PvE servers because they don't like PvP, they don't want to get ganked, and they just don't want that sort of conflict. And then there are even people suggesting that Alpha 2 should be PvE only, especially for the big streamers, so that they can have a nice time. Because that's what you want people to do. You want people to come into a test environment and test it as a flower picking simulator, like Paleo. Because that's what this game is, right? Stephen, in fact, can you tell me more about this game?
There is a heavy emphasis of PvP in the game, as it rightfully should have, because we are a PvX game, and our conceptually designed philosophy is you build the world through PvE, you change it through PvP, right? Like those are the competing factors. I think where it stands now is sufficient.
And over the past couple of months, I have been testing everyone and anyone in the Ashes of Creation community to see what their thoughts are on PvE servers, and it's been interesting to say the least.
On my videos, people are commenting, they're like, hey, yeah, I'm going to be attacking all the time, and it's like, great.
Yeah, I think.
Wait, let me get in really quick. Hi, I'm Nice Gaming, and I would like PvE servers.
You're fired.
Somebody clip it.
Without PvP, the node system and the caravan system becomes pointless. It would literally turn into some solo quest and adventure sandbox. There is a place for PvE and PvP in Ashes of Creation, and we shouldn't go ahead and try and change it to cater for a more popular audience, dare I say. And I know people have suggested stuff like, I don't know, PvP flagging, because we know that works so well.
What is that actually happened? Of course it happened. I think this is a reflection of how
Fun fact, New World is apparently PvE focused now.
We launched way back, New World was a PvP focused game, and we listened to the players at that time, and we adjusted, and we actually made it more PvE focused based on that feedback. And what we see is the majority of our players are PvE focused.
I mean, just look at all those PvE players they have left. And let's be honest, they don't even do PvE that well. You can't make a PvX game for everyone. Not everyone will enjoy this title. But trying to cater for the masses means you cater for no one specifically, which means your game has no soul. You basically make New World, and no one wants to play that right now. And out of the popularity and the hope that people have for Ashes of Creation comes another problem. So at the start of the video, I said something quite controversial, which was Ashes of Creation was inspired by New World. And I can only imagine how people took that.
Oh shit.
But what I mean by this is that they have sold over 100,000 Alpha 2 keys, and is rumored to be potentially more around the 200,000 mark. Let's just make sure I emphasize this enough. This is an alpha test, likely with limited server capacity, because it's an alpha. You're testing. They're not going to have full-blown production servers, from what I can tell. So there's potentially 200,000 people trying to access a alpha test. There's no way Ashes of Creation looked at this and thought this was a good idea. They must have seen New World and said, hey, hold my beer. They can't have seen the trouble New World had and not been inspired to go one better. Remember kids, New World was created by Amazon, who make AWS servers, which are the best servers on the market at the moment. And the reason they are is because you can spin them up so quickly. If you need a server, it takes seconds. And still, New World had server capacity issues. Truly inspiring. And further still, when it comes to New World, the server cap is 3,500. And yet Ashes of Creation is going to have 8 to 10,000. I don't think an MMO exists where you can have 8 to 10k players in one instance. I could be wrong. So what does 200,000 people trying to go on an alpha server look like, you might be asking? Ashes of Creation is praised for its open development. Everyone loves its openness and just how honest the devs are. They would never lie to us or, you know, extend the truth. Open development will always have issues and there will always be flaws to it. There was a time that the showcases felt very natural and that they just stumbled into these new discoveries. But now they have turned into these pre-recorded scripted events, which is fine, but is it very open? I think the words open development become a bit more loose when you are pre-recording streams. Which is why it's becoming very odd that in recent times when showing these pre-recorded streams, there's been some very noticeable bugs.
That looks so much better. Oh no, he's got a little weird bug. That's okay, guys. As you know, Ashes is a work in progress. There are going to be little bugs you might see here and there, and we show you the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Now, if this was live and real time, it could be forgiven. But it's not. It's pre-recorded. And yet they are showing us this buggy mess. Is that them trying to set expectations that all ads might do this? Or did they just not have the time to re-record? It's a strange decision to make, and it might highlight how many bugs we can potentially run into. Maybe I'm being a bit too critical of this one, but let's rewind to the PvP showcase, which was heavily staged and actually quite revealing in some other aspects. One of the biggest flexes about this game is the UE5 character creator. So what in the Starfield is this? There are more bold, generic white guys than the MMO content creation space. And you have to remember, the character creator was done some time ago, so to be this far into development and still everyone's generic, I don't know how much of this is a bug and how much of this has just not been developed. But even as I record this, I'm doing something which is also a problem, and that is that There has literally been debates and arguments about some of the most pointless and irrelevant shit you've ever seen when it comes to Ashes of Creation.
Of this video is actually filmed in the Sand Squall Desert, and it's filmed at night, and my immediate instant reaction was, wow, that is very dark.
Hi, I'm a talking dog, and this is tonight's news. Is your water wet enough? How dark should nighttime be? And is Ashes of Creation's biggest problem nameplates?
Geeks, bruv.
Remind me, the most popular MMO, what game engine is that on again?
You beauty! You beauty!
I think when it comes to Ashes criticism, it seems some is very valid, but a lot of it is getting a bit too nitpicky, especially for my liking.
Like, look at this boardroom. Look, they're playing on smart boards. Like, I don't know if this is the White House Situation Room or if we're developing a MMO. Like, this is where all the money's going. Look how nice those chairs are.
Which is ironic coming from a guy making a video about all the problems that Ashes of Creation potentially has. But this is only my second Ashes video this year. Imagine reviewing games that actually exist, am I right? One of the biggest problems facing Ashes of Creation are the formation of echo chambers. If we take a look at Ashes of Creation's biggest content creator, Asmongold, intentionally or unintentionally, he has put himself in a position of power when it comes to this game. If he wanted to, he could probably get his community to rally for furries to be added into Ashes, and because of the clout behind him and the sheer vacuum he has from his echo chamber, it could potentially happen.
excuse me. Hopefully, Asmund likes this little rendition.
Oh my god.
And that's at the top end of the content ladder. At the other end, we had the likes of Jimmy saying he didn't like the fetch quests Ashes of Creation were presenting.
And I was like, okay, this looks cool. And on the side of the screen, I see some quests about killing 20 goblins. And I'm like, no fucking way that this is the revolutionary thing. The next big MMO is not gonna have kill 20 goblins as a fucking quest, I promise. They've already lost in my eyes.
Which is totally valid and not an insane take. And yet, it seems a lot of the Ashes community heard this one section in a 20-minute plus video, reacted to it, and quote unquote wanted to punch him in the face over his opinion on fetch quests. It seems totally healthy to have that strong of an opinion on a game which quite literally doesn't exist and you haven't even played yet. And hey, Jimmy, don't worry. I got told to unalive myself after giving my first impressions of BDO. Maybe the MMORPG community isn't so wholesome after all. If he had turned round and said that Stephen Sharif is an excited Pomeranian and Ashes of Creation is some gank box, sure, I could understand, it's a bit more personal, but I don't like fetch quests? Really? Punch to the face? And people are worried about the toxicity that PvP brings to Ashes of Creation. And finally, Ashes of Creation's biggest problem is you. You watching this.
Oh, here it comes.
What the fuck?
A joke, it's Alpha 2. But I felt that was very dramatic. You're not the problem. You guys are great. Like and subscribe. People are losing their shit over what Alpha 2 will be and what it might not be. And I'll tell you right now what it's going to be. Does it matter if there are nameplates in Alpha 2? Does it matter if there's a desert biome in Alpha 2? Does it matter if you're capped at level 30? Does it matter if the rogue class is not going to be in the alpha? No. It's an alpha test. The whole point is to test systems, make sure it works, and then slowly but surely introduce new systems, new working mechanics, until the game is eventually in a working order.
It is a testing experience. It is something that players who are participating in Alpha 2 are assisting in the development of it. There may be wipes, there will be periods of time where we're taking it down and we're iterating upon it. It is not intended to be a fun experience per se, although I believe it will be a fun experience.
I think it'll be fun.
I think it'll be fun. But it is intended to test our core systems. It is intended to test our network architectures. It is intended to prepare the game for an official launch.
People are going to treat Alpha 2 like it's a full release. And do you know what happens when you do that? You become disappointed because it's not a full release. It's going to be nowhere near a full release. Honestly, at this point, if I could just log into the game, try out the combat, get a little taste of lore, and maybe test out a few systems, I'll be happy. But anyone wanting more than that and wanting to main the game for the next couple years until it's fully released, whilst it's still in an alpha state, I mean...
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing.
So why have I made this video? Is it to rage bait, get views, get money? Yes, all of the above. But also because, like you, I have been following Ashes of Creation for a while now. I have been consuming this hopium and copium content, and I even have an Alpha 2 key. So I'm part of the problem and not the solution. But when it comes down to brass tacks, it's only a game. It isn't the last hope for MMOs. There's so many others out there in production. Literally, there's a new MMO released every year. And let's be real for a moment. Ashes of Creation still has a lot of unaddressed problems. But so do the current MMOs that you are playing. So is it any worse off? And to any content creators who want to react to this, just remember, you're still in my views. So feel free to leave a super thank. I'm joking,
I was acting.
I'm not joking. But anyway, if you feel like I've missed anything out or you want to just give your opinion, the comment sections below. I'm sure it's going to be interesting. It's only a few months away, and soon we'll be able to experience what Alpha 2 really feels like.
So hey, how you doing? I'm doing just fine. I lied, I'm dying inside. Hey, can you see I'm not fine at all? Then I'll just keep it to myself.